escorts, call girls, night walkers, etc. What was the weirdest / craziest / funniest experience in your time in that profession? Just curious, since I can't sleep after getting home from work and seeing a bunch of these type of girls come into my job most weekends. Ex-stripper here gave a 2-hour-long lap dance to a guy who wanted me to talk about vacuums the whole time. It's really hard to make vacuums sexy. I'm gonna suck you like the Ultra Sucker 9000, only 6 easy payments of $19.99 plus shipping and handling. This made me forget what the thread was actually about. Great. Now I'm horny. Goddamn it, Vargas. I manage to see Vargas rarely enough that someone will mention goddammit Vargas and then I'll go back and double check the username and go, oh, that explains what the fuck I just read. I didn't even have to check the username this time. That whole thing just screamed Vargas. I feel like after every comment Vargas makes, there is someone saying goddamn Vargas, and another saying pshaw, or didn't even have to check. Walking in on a client smoking a crack pipe, a guy who booked me exclusively because I looked like his ex. He made me shower with her shampoo, shower gel before each booking. One guy always wanted me to wear a balaclava during sex. Yeah, I totally read that as baklava, which would be hard to wear and way too sticky to be sexy. Nothing is too sticky to be sexy. Nothing. Stop. My penis can only get so erect. I had a guy pay me to sit on his face and smother him with my butt cheeks. I didn't even have to get naked. He told me his sister used to punish him when he was a kid by sitting on him until he almost blacked out. And now it's a weird fetish. Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit on your face and tell you I love you too. I love to hear you oralize when I'm between your thighs. Okay, story time. I once ended up at a hooker's apartment with a buddy, we'll call Tom, who used to date said hooker, and a friend of Tom's that we'll call Dave B. The hooker was also a dominatrix by trade and had a live-in submissive. At some point I drank enough to hit that special stage where every idea is the best idea and decided I'm going to make a documentary about these weird fucking people. So it's 2 AM and I'm poorly filming interviews with each of them, asking invasive questions, and while the dominatrix hooker hybrid was providing me detailed descriptions of each of her services, Dave B. interrupted to ask about face sitting or queening. It turned out Dave was a huge fan of face sitting and derailed my drunkumentary to negotiate services with the hooker. And he did, and she sat on his face until he damn near passed out. Then he walked to Walgreens and bought Tom and I beer because we were getting impatient. And then they did it again. I filmed the whole incident. It's somewhere on my laptop to this day. Doctor learned about the face-sitting fetish while drunk documentary making in a prostitute's apartment in the early hours of the morning. I would totally watch that documentary. So, throw away because I just started escorting and don't want it linked to my normal life. A guy I last saw a month ago would quote movies while fucking. He was also huge, both his dick and his weight. We would be fucking and he'd say things like I am the danger. Chaos isn't a pit, it's a ladder. I'd have to press my head into the pillow not to die laughing. Once for the entire hour he just had me repeat "you're a big guy," to which he'd reply "for you," which he told me is from The Dark Knight Rises. I kind of miss him. Regular, paid well and fucking hilarious. I once had a FWB who did this a lot. Me, let's go fuck on the chair in the corner. Him, nobody puts baby in the corner. We didn't even have to be having sex. Me, let's go home and fuck. Him, there's no place like home. Also my hearing isn't great so I have to say what? A lot. If I said it more than once to something he said that I didn't hear, he'd jokingly point an imaginary gun at me and say what again? Say what one more goddamned time. It got old fast. Were you fucking a bed? Yep, cool. What a hero. How big are we talking? Like a chubby version of Bane or something else? He was over 6 feet and at least 300 pounds. I just watched TDK like 4 minutes ago and I'm crying tears of laughter. Some guy wanted to watch me stuff a thong into my vagina, make me come with it in there, and then pull it out. He was going to pay extra to keep the thong, but I tried the feet beforehand and found it unsurprisingly uncomfortable and declined. I've seen this. She stuck it in, then the guy started fucking her, pushing it way up there. I figured there is no way that felt good. If you were Australian this would be so much worse. Thong versus thong, great. Now I have the image of a stripper with a pair of sandals up her vagina. If she queefs I wonder if they make a clapping noise. Oh, fuck. Male escort for about 3 years. The worst would be having an out call and having to fuck a guy in front of his girlfriend. He loved it. She just glared at me the whole time. I felt really bad about it. I'll always remember the way she sat, staring at me while I had my way with her husband in their bedroom. So sorry, but he paid for it. I just feel bad about it. That was about 10 years ago, in Sydney. Sorry Mrs. Client, I probably had about 1,200 jobs during that time. That was the worst for unspoken personal conflict. I am for real. Never meant to fuck your boyfriend dry. I apologize a million times. I'm sorry, Miss Client. Oh. Long story short, they were in their own house. So yes, she could have gone somewhere else. I blame myself. I'm not really gay, just doing a job. So I mentioned she could stay, hoping to at least see a woman while I fucked a dude. This backfired. As you could see, she was uncomfortable with her man being screwed by another guy. It was very uncomfortable for both of us, apart from my client, who was face down being fucked. He seemed to love it. He was a squealer, so anywhere she went, she would have had him being fucked. It's late, and I'll answer some more tomorrow if interested. Wish I could find my old Reddit account that had really good amount on this. I got asked to insert my feet into a guy's ass. Politely declined the job. Sorry about your daddy issue, Eric Foreman, but I can't do that. What has that really good black doctor done to you? Should have kicked his ass and said no. Lol, he's entitled to get off however he wants. Another guy enjoyed a stiletto heel ground into his balls. That one I'd do. Why would people ask for this? I've never heard of a girl wanting a man to use a steel toe cap boot to stamp on her clit. Then you haven't been watching the right porn. Okay, I'm ready. Link? Not me but a friend. A regular client took her and a bunch of other girls to an apartment. The apartment was empty with the exception of a shitload of balloons on the floor. The girls stripped down to just thongs and had to pop balloons by bouncing on them. Client just stood in the corner and fapped. Man, I would be a prostitute if I only got calls like this. Tell me about it. She said he also paid them decent money for 2 hours of this. 2 hours? Dude is a champ. And has a ton of balloons. The balloons were done in 15 minutes. It just took him an extra 1:45 to finish. Not particularly weird, but lots of clients prefer me to wear leggings and dudes instead of sexy lingerie. Also had a large amount of little people ask me to humiliate them by calling them stupid midgets, etc. Leggings are fucking sexy as hell. Large amount of little people ask me to humiliate them. Damn. How many midgets little people do you deal with on a monthly basis? Quite a few. I always say no because I feel bad, but they are relentless in wanting to be humiliated. I used to work nights in reception at an escort agency that had about 50% of the escort adverts, Asian line, Indian, BBW, you name it, in my city. My job was to pick up the phone and offer quotes, match the right girl for the right fantasy. Not all like doing certain things. So one night I get this guy that was looking for a girl that could wear PVC clothing, while using a strap-on him. That wasn't an all-out request, It had happened before, but he also wanted her to sprinkle talcum powder all over him while doing that and bark while they were watching dog porn. One of the girls came back to the office one night and told us that her client had gone to the restroom at the start of her booking and came back out with the toilet brush up his butt. He then proceeded to wanting to have sex with her doggy style. That was an interesting job.